Welcome to this week's edition of the Weightlifting Platform, where we report that Continental Championships is where weightlifting records go to die. The Weightlifting Platform is brought to you by the Panamerican Weightlifting Federation. I'm Richard Mason, your host. On this week's show, we'll sit down with one of the organizers of the Asian Weightlifting Championships. Uzbekistan is lifting way past its weight in organizing. First, they organized one of the online worldwide meets. They're also, in just a few weeks' time, organizing World Juniors. For our tip of the week, it's a pre-workout stretch, and our regular feature, Good to Know, we'll talk about Jamaica's hidden history in weightlifting. But first, here are the headlines. Lots of results to report, including a multitude of world records from Tashkent and the Asian Weightlifting Championships. China led the way as the world's most populous nation finished the final day of competition with a dominant performance by Li Wenwen. The 21-year-old super snatched 148, clean and jerked 187, and totaled 335. All of those are world records. The men's supers was won by Ali Dawoodi of Iran over Man Assad of Syria. It was the day before, though, that drew the loudest cheers in the arena, as two Uzbek athletes broke records and vied for the top of the podium in the males 109s. China's Yang Ji led after the snatch with a world record lift, but it was in the clean and jerk where two local athletes battled. Ruslan Nuridinov lifted 241 for a clean and jerk world record and the gold medal, but right before that was fellow Uzbek Akbar Jurayev. Overall, about 40 world and Asian records were set in Tashkent. On the other side of the globe, America's Best wrapped up their Continental Championship in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Colombia's men's team topped the men's awards, taking the men's trophy, and it was the United States of America taking the women's trophy. It was the Pan Am men in the 96-kilo class that outshone their Asian counterparts. The gold medal performance by Jonathan Rivas of Colombia, with Canada's Bodhi Santovi behind, set up what could be one of the most tightly contested weight classes come this summer in Tokyo. Overall, 6 men's records were set and 9 were set by women in Santo Domingo. Fernando Reis of Brazil, Sarah Robles of the United States, Juan Colombi of Cuba, Colombia's Lesman Paredes, Dominican Republic's Chris Mary Santana, and American Maddie Rogers were medalists in the final days. One Olympian from Rio de Janeiro has a problem bigger than qualifying for Tokyo. It's been reported in his home nation that Armenia's Simon Martirosyan was involved in a collision with a pedestrian that turned fatal. The 24-year-old was driving his car when a man was hit crossing the road late at night. The pedestrian was not using a crosswalk. Media reports say Martirosyan has been asked not to leave the country as the investigation continues. Those are today's headlines. Now, good to know. Jamaica was on the start list for the Panamerican Championships. That's the first time in a while for the island nation to enter an athlete in an international meet. But did you know Jamaica's produced a multiple Olympic medalist in our sport? Lewis Martin, born in Kingston, Jamaica, was where he started weightlifting. He competed for Jamaica at the Commonwealth Games in 1958. But by the time the 1960 Olympics came around, he was competing for Great Britain. His family had moved. He's since been hailed as Britain's greatest ever weightlifter. Martin won 4 World Mid-Heavyweight Championships, Olympic silver and bronze medals, and 3 Commonwealth titles. That is good to know. Now time to talk. We'd like to welcome the organizers of the 2020, even though it's held in 2021, Asian Weightlifting Championships here in Tashkent. Shakrilo Mahmudov is one of the members of the International Weightlifting Federation Executive Board. Azamat is the Foreign Relations Director with the Uzbeki Federation. He's going to help us with the interview. Welcome, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, first, let's start. Tell me, how did you first get involved, Shakrilo, in weightlifting?
Bizi oldu futbolga borganman, futbolga borib turib
seksiya, futbol seksiyasi bekilib olib, shuni oldida og'ratayotgan bo'lgan. Shunga odatga borib turib qiziqib qolganman shundan so'ng. Kuchli bo'lish uchun borib qo'ygandim.
Initially, I go to football. I played football, and unfortunately, the football section is closed. And near to the football section, there was a weightlifting club. And after that, I go to weightlifting, and now I'm here.
By accident. We're hearing a lot of that lately.
Yes.
Now, tell me, Uzbekistan has held the virtual event to celebrate the independence. You're holding this event today. You're holding another event very recently. Why is it important to Uzbekistan to welcome weightlifters to you?
Shu onlayn hamda
O'zbekistonda musobaqalarni tashkillashtirish bu avvalambor O'zbekistonni prestijini xalqaro maydonda yanada mustahkamlash.
The organizing the international event in Uzbekistan is the interest of the government in order to make the image of the country in front of the world. Because not only weightlifting, other sports also tries to organize more international events annually.
Yeah, I noticed that even while we're here, there's an international gymnastics event going just next door.
Swimming, gymnastics now, judo before T10 before finish, boxing.
Yes.
President Uzbek Republic, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, like sport. Very good support every time.
Fantastic. Now, you guys are holding this Asian Weightlifting Federation annual championship here today. You're holding in about a month's time the IWF Junior Championship, which you took over from Saudi Arabia and to help out in the situation. Is it different hosting an IWF event as opposed to an AWF event? What do you have to do differently with the two of them?
Endi har ikkalasi ham all competition, har ikkalasi ham musobaqa bu kvalifikatsion. Har ikkalasi ham olimpiya o'yinlariga yo'llanma beradigan musobaqa. Shu jihatdan bir xil. Lekin bittasi Osiyoniki bu kattalarniki, jahon chempionati esa bu yoshlarniki. 20 yoshgacha bo'lgan sportlarniki.
The similarity of the competition is both of them are qualified to Tokyo Olympic Games, and the differences are the amount of the participants, because as you know, in this event 27 countries are participating, but in the IWF event will be more than 60 or 70. Automatically the participants number will be increased. That's why the responsibility and of course the challenge also will be more increased in the next event.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for having us here, and thank you very much.
Thank you for you.
Thank
Welcome.
you for coming and supporting us and helping us in the event.
We'll do the On the Clock segment in just a few moments' time with Zukra Abduliyeva, international referee from here in Uzbekistan. Thanks once again to Azamat and Shakrillo for taking the time to do that. As I said, we're going to talk now with our International Weightlifting Federation referee, Zukra Abduliyeva, and we'll put her on the clock. Time for our On the Clock segment, where we try and learn something about somebody in the weightlifting world, but it's not really the weightlifting stuff we're going to learn. We're going to learn about the person. Joining us is international referee Zukra Abduliyeva from here in Uzbekistan. Welcome. Are you ready for this?
Yes, thank you, Richard.
Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Pizza or plov?
Plov.
Excellent. Favorite song right now?
Jennifer Lopez. If you had my love.
Fantastic. Your best subject when you went to school? What was your best subject?
Mathematics.
Mathematics. Facebook? Instagram? Both?
Both.
Both? See, that's fair. Are you a good driver?
Yes, I am.
Really? I did not know that. Least favorite exercise?
Least favorite exercise?
Yeah.
Stretching.
Stretching. I would have gone with sit-ups. Nicest beach you've ever seen?
Copacabana, Brazil.
There you go. Last one. What would you change about the officials' uniform if you could change something?
I wish we had t-shirts and skirt.
There you go. Thanks for taking the time to join us.
You're
We very
welcome.
much appreciate it.
Thank you, Richard.
Time now for the tip of the week. My apologies. Apparently, I didn't have the clock running correctly, and we only grilled her for 45 seconds. Thanks, Zukra. Now it is time for the tip of the week. We often talk about strength exercises, building the quads, all that work, but flexibility is also of equal importance to weightlifters. Coach Crystal Derry has our tip of the week with some quality exercises before things get heavy.
Welcome to the Mobility Movement. My name is Crystal, and today we're doing a whole body prep sequence. The equipment that you're going to need is somewhere comfortable that you can kneel and lie on, bare feet, and a foam roller. And we're going to start with our hands behind our hips. This is probably one of my favorite ways to warm up for squatting. So we just start with that 90-90 windshield side to side. Hands forward requires a little bit more engagement from the core and a little bit more range through the hips. So choose which one works best for you. From there, we're gonna alternate from side to side. Then I'm gonna get you to bring that front foot in, go more 45-45, and we're gonna come up, squeezing the glute, and then come back down, back to 90-90, switch over to the other side. The important thing here is that it's a controlled landing and a controlled takeoff. Okay, if you need, you can use your hands to help you down and up. I'll get you to grab that foam roller and you can transition with me. You can grab the base of the head and then just let your upper back kind of fold over the roller as you slowly start to roll that section. Okay, then I'll get you to set your hips down. And we're just gonna roll all the way to one side and then over to the other. And we're gonna work in that same section. So kind of just gradually moving up the roller. Okay. We're gonna turn around and face the roller. I'm gonna get you to lie flat. And then we're gonna have our palms facing each other, posterior pelvic tilt, and we're going for a really gentle overhead lat stretch here. So just letting your head come to the floor. And we're just gonna focus on our breath here. So I want you to take some nice big inhales, expand the belly into the floor. Keep that core and glute engagement. So then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do 5 lift-offs alternating side to side. So I'm going to lift my right shoulder off the foam roller, hold, 1, 2, slow lower, other side, lift off, hold, 1, 2, hold, 1, 2, hold. We're gonna come to child's pose. So before we set our head down, we're gonna walk our arms over to the right side. We're gonna take 5 breaths here where we exhale, lean into the shoulder, inhale, come up, and exhale, lean into the shoulder. Inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, we're gonna come through into up dog. So letting those hips set down, relaxing the glutes, but staying strong through the arms, lifting the sternum or the breastbone. Then we're gonna hook those toes, squeeze our glutes, and press back to downward facing dog. Just walk those heels out, maybe 1, 2, press the chest through, coming back through. And back to child's pose. And that's our sequence for today. Thank you so much for joining the movement.
Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of the Weightlifting Platform, brought to you by the Pan American Weightlifting Federation. If you like what you see, please bookmark us here on YouTube. You could also like the IWF on Facebook or tweet out to the IWF at IWFNet, N-E-T, on Twitter. I'm Richard Mason. Good lifting.